during 2019, early January 2020, did you attempt to contact Anthony Todt or Megan Todt?
Yes, I attempted to contact them at the Longview address and at the Reserve address.
At either of the locations, did you get a response?
I did not.
Did you leave anything at either of the residents that would indicate that you were there?
Yes, I left business cards at each location.
Did anybody from the Todt family call you?
No.
State has no further questions for this witness.
Thank you.
Stephanie Kofinis. I'm a 911 dispatcher.
Did you receive a call on January 10th of 2020 from somebody who identified themselves as Chrissy Caplet?
Yes.
Was this phone call recorded?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would seek to introduce into evidence what's been marked states KK for identification into evidence as states 2.
Georgia County Sheriff's Office, Advantage Quarter. This is Stephanie. How can I help you? Hi. I don't know who I need to speak with. I'm curious if I can have a wellness check done. What's the address for the wellness check? It's 202 Reserve Place in Celebration. I had actually called on December 29th, and I had an officer go out because I was concerned. My brother and his family, they had all been sick. But there's actually been more developments. There's actually an active... And I just in conversations with my sister, my sister-in-law was making a comment about, and we just kind of put it all together, about basically the world ending on the 28th, and nobody has talked to them. Nobody physically talked to my sister-in-law since the 26th of December, and my brother has stopped texting as of Monday. So I don't know if there's a way that somebody can go out. They are renting a place. They're actually being evicted from that property. But that's the last place that we know that they were supposedly at, but they have a condo that's right around the corner as well. My brother's name is Tony, Tony. They have 3 kids.
So they think the world is ending and you're worried they're going to,
because of a lot of stuff that's been happening, that there could be something a little bit more happening. We live in Connecticut. He flew back to Florida on the 22nd of November. We didn't find out about all this until the week of Christmas, and we've had a very, very hard time getting anything from him, and he has stopped all communications. And we've not spoken to Megan. Nobody's heard from Megan.
You said since Monday. That was the
6th. The last time anybody talked to my brother, text my brother, not even talking, text my brother was on the 6th.
So does anybody have any medical conditions?
Yes. My sister-in-law, we're not exactly sure. That's the other part of this. Supposedly they were all sick with the flu around that time, but she has some liver issues, and there could be some other health issues that I'm not 100% sure of. And like I said, I called down on the 29th. The police did go. They checked with the neighbors, and the neighbors said that nobody had been there. I had been messaging some of the neighbors, but it's just really strange. And I actually spoke with one of the agents up here, and he even recommended to call back down there and see if we can have another wellness check.
Okay. I have a call and we'll get somebody out there, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
State has no further questions. On January 10th of 2020, did you respond to 202 Reserve Place in an effort to make contact with Anthony Todt and his family?
I did.
What were you wearing at the time that you went to the residence?
I was wearing a standard Class B uniform, a standard patrol uniform.
What type of vehicle did you drive?
I was driving a Dodge Charger with Sheriff's Office decals and a light bar.
4:51 in the afternoon, did you arrive at the 202 Reserve Place?
Yes.
Was it daylight out still?
It was still light out.
What did you notice about the front of 202 Reserve?
The blinds were all closed. There was no cars parked in front.
Did you go up to the door?
I did.
What did you do when you got to the door?
I knocked and rang the doorbell several times.
Did anybody answer?
No one answered.
Did you see anything around the door that caught your attention?
Yes, there was a case card from our agency stuck in the door just above the doorknob from one of our civil deputies.
Would that be Deputy Barroso?
I believe so, yes.
Is there another door that you ended up knocking on?
Yes, at 202 Reserve Place, the garage is detached at the back of the residence, and above that, most of the apartments in that area, or most of the houses, have a small apartment above the garage. So I did also go back there to try to make contact.
And you mentioned another condo that was on Longview Avenue.
That's correct.
How long did it take you to drive from 202 Reserve Place to where the condo was located?
3 to 5 minutes. They're very close to each other.
Is it possible for you to walk from 211 Longview Avenue to 202 Reserve Place?
Easily. They're cross streets of each other. It's probably a mile or maybe 2 at the most.
When you got to the 211 Longview Avenue address, apartment 9306, what did you notice about the door at that residence?
There was an additional case car from our agency from the same civil unit stuck in the door.
Is that the last time that you attempted to contact anybody from the Todt family?
It's not. I returned to both those locations the next morning.
Do you remember approximately what time you responded there?
It was about 6:40 in the morning when I first arrived, but I was out there for a good few hours, till about 11 or so, going back and forth, talking to neighbors.
Did you make contact with anybody from the Todt family?
I made contact with no one from the Todt family.
Did you make the same attempts at knocking at all three of the doors?
I did, both days.
Did you become aware of a vehicle that the Todt family may have had?
Yes.
What type of vehicle do you recall it being?
It was a maroon Honda Odyssey van.
Did you also look for the Honda Odyssey because you indicated
I did.
that there wasn't a van in front of 202 Reserve Place?
No, the van was behind the Longview Avenue address.
I believe you indicated that you were in the area attempting to make contact till about 11 a.m. that same day,
That's correct.
and you never made contact with anybody from the Todt family.
I did not.
I don't have any further questions for this witness. Will you say your first and last name?
Michael Phelps.
On January 13th of 2020, did you attempt to make contact with somebody identified as Anthony Todt in your capacity as a law enforcement officer?
Yes, I did.
When you get to 202 Reserve Place in Celebration, did anything catch your attention about the exterior of the home?
All of the lights were off in the residence. All of the blinds were closed.
While you were at 202 Reserve Place, did you see somebody that you were able to verify was Anthony Todt?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see Anthony Todt come out on the porch?
Yes, ma'am. When I arrived at the residence, Anthony Todt was already sitting out on the porch.
At the time that you were walking up to 202 Reserve Place, was the defendant still out on the porch?
No, ma'am. The defendant had already entered the residence while we were still sitting in our vehicles outside of the residence.
Do you go up to the front door of 202 Reserve Place?
Yes, ma'am. We knocked for approximately a minute or two and announced ourselves.
Did anybody answer the door?
No, ma'am.
Did you open the door?
Yes, I did.
After you opened the door to the residence, what, if anything, did you notice?
The same thing that we had seen from outside, all the lights were off. Noticed a really foul odor right upon opening the door.
How long have you been a law enforcement officer?
Approximately 8 years.
The odor that you're speaking about, are you familiar with it?
No, ma'am, not particularly.
Were other law enforcement officers with you when you were entering the residence?
Yes, ma'am. Approximately 5 other law enforcement officers, I believe, entered the residence with me.
Did you see the defendant in the residence?
Yes, ma'am.
Initially, when you first see the defendant, where was the defendant?
We had called him out and looked for him in the first couple of rooms upon entering. And when we got to a larger open area of the residence, there's a stairwell that leads up to the second floor. The defendant was at the top of the stairs, maybe 2 stairs away from reaching the second floor.
Did the defendant say anything about the rest of his family?
Yes, he did. We had asked the defendant where his spouse, Megan, was, and the defendant responded that she was sleeping. When the defendant said that, he looked up towards the bedroom that when you got to the top of the stairs was on the far right side of the second floor. Within a couple of seconds after notifying us that she was asleep, then shouted for her by saying, Megan.
Did anybody respond?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever come into contact with any of the defendant's children?
In that bedroom that I had just referenced on the second floor.
What was their condition?
The bodies were discolored black and blue. There were 2 boys sitting on top of I believe a mattress on the floor. It almost looked like their feet or some of their flesh may have been falling off of the body or decomposing at that point.
Was anybody else alive in the house except for Anthony Todt?
No, ma'am.
Prior to the children being discovered, did you hear the defendant say anything about where his children were?
I don't recall him saying anything about the location of the children prior to discovering them.
What about after?
Yeah, afterwards, when we went into the bedroom, it looked like the 2 boys on the floor were very obviously seen right when you walked in, as well as what appeared to be Megan in the bed, but we could not identify where his daughter was, and we had known that there were 3 children that were expected to be at the residence, so we asked where the location of his daughter was.
What did the defendant say?
He said something regarding her being asleep, and he may have referenced being at a sleepover. I can't recall the exact wording, I'm sorry.
No further questions.
Cross-examination.
Officer Phelps, when you observed Mr. Todt, did you observe him to be waddling?
I'm sorry, waddling?
Yes, was he waddling?
Yes, ma'am, he was shaky, yep.
You observed him to be mumbling?
Yes.
You observed him to be incoherent?
Yes, some of the things he was saying weren't coming out clearly, could not decipher them.
You also observed him walking slowly?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you discern any urine on him?
I don't recall if there was urine on him or not.
Mr. Phelps, you saw Mr. Todt on top of the stairs when you first arrived, correct?
Yes, ma'am, 1 or 2 steps away from the top of the stairs.
And when he started walking down the stairs, he started stumbling down the stairs?
Yeah, I don't recall him actually stumbling, but he was walking, very slow, needed to support his body with the handrail.
He needed assistance?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions.
Redirect.
During your entire contact with the defendant, was the defendant awake?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, the defendant was the only one in the residence alive.
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions. On January 13th of 2020, did you arrive at 202 Reserve Place in Celebration?
Yes, I did.
When you go into the home, what, if anything, did you notice?
When we entered the front door, it appeared that there was no power to the residence. It was dark inside the house, no lights were on. The air was kind of stale, and it had a strong foul smell.
And during your career, have you become aware of what that foul smell indicates to you?
Yes, ma'am. I've investigated dead bodies in residences. That foul smell is consistent with a dead body.
Were you able to identify that odor right when you walked into the home?
Oh, yes, you could smell it from downstairs, yes, ma'am.
When you enter the home, do you see somebody identified as Anthony Todt?
Yes, ma'am. When you enter the front doorway, there was an opening. To the right side, there was a stairwell that actually came downwards, facing the opposite direction. We could hear the voice from up in the stairs, and the defendant started to walk down the stairs to where we could see him over the handrail.
When you get into the home, where do you go?
There was another law enforcement officer that was in front of me. As we entered the front door, we went down the walkway that led to the stairwell, and we stayed at the bottom of the stairwell initially. Once Mr. Todt came down to the bottom of the stairwell, maybe a minute or 2 of some conversation, then I made my way up the stairwell.
What was that conversation consistent of?
I asked Mr. Todt if his wife was at the house. He stated that she was upstairs sleeping. I asked, I believe, if there was any children in the residence. His statement was somewhere along the lines, I'm not sure if they're at a friend's house sleeping over.
When you get into the master bedroom, what did you see?
We walked up to the top of the stairs. Door was partially, I'd say about halfway open. I could see inside of the door. I could see the bed. There was a silhouette of a person that was laying on the bed, but they were fully covered up with blankets.
Did you see anything on the floor?
Yes, once we entered the bedroom, pushed the door all the way open. It was a fairly large master bedroom. On the floor were 2 mattresses that were side by side, a body on one mattress, a body on the other mattress. They were also covered with blankets.
How many bodies did you initially see when you walked into that master bedroom?
Initially, we could only see 3 bodies.
Which body did you not locate immediately?
Juvenile, female, maybe about 5 years old. We could not locate it initially.
And that would be Zoe.
Yes, ma'am.
This being a master bedroom, was there a bathroom and a closet in this bedroom as well?
Yes, there was.
Did you enter those areas?
Yes, we checked the bathroom as well as the closet.
Initially, did you find Zoe?
No, ma'am. So after we thoroughly checked the master bedroom, we exited the master bedroom. There was, I believe, 2 other bedrooms upstairs. One of the rooms, the door was locked. We kicked that door in. There was nothing located in any of the other rooms upstairs. So we went back to the master bedroom, searched around some more. At the foot of the bed, there was a pile of blankets that were piled up. We started kind of peeling the blankets apart, and that's where we located a juvenile female.
How many members of the Todt family were located in the master bedroom?
In the master bedroom, there was the adult female on the bed, the juvenile female on the bed, and then 2 juvenile males on the floor.
And while you're doing this, where is the defendant?
The defendant is at the bottom of the stairwell with another law enforcement officer.
Did you have an opportunity to view the contents of that video?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Does that video fairly and accurately depict the residence and some of the conversation with the defendant that took place on January 13th of 2020?
Yes, it does.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would seek to introduce into evidence what's been marked States VV for identification, and evidence is States 3.
Tony, you coming downstairs? I think so. Tony, you upstairs? Hey, come downstairs, bud. All right? Yeah, take your time. Hey, just stay calm. All right, I got you.
Any children here?
I can't remember if they went to a sleepover last night.
Keep coming downstairs. Yeah, like 7-7.
Oh, you good? You got any weapons on you? What's your wife's name? Megan. Has anyone heard her talk? No. Megan? Megan. All right, come on down, buddy.
All right, so just sit, have a seat. You good? I got you. So have a seat.
Megan!
Face forward for me, all right? Put your hands forward too, all right?
Megan?
You want me to get a chair for you to sit down in? What's that?
Hey, can you run out there and grab some gloves?
We still can't find the daughter.
What?
Where's Zoe?
I haven't seen her. She went with you. Oh, no, I didn't see her. I was sleeping. She was in here. I didn't see anything. You think I'll have to check the garage.
I have no further questions for this witness.
Cross-examination.
Deputy, you observed Mr. Todt on top of the stairs,
Yes, ma'am.
and you observed him when he was walking down the stairs stumbling.
Yes, ma'am.
You observed Mr. Todt to be mumbling,
Yes, ma'am.
and you observed him shaking.
Yes.
No further questions.
Thank you. Redirect.
During the entire time that you were at 202 Reserve Place, was the defendant awake?
Yes, he was.
How many members of the Todt family were alive when you responded there on January 13th?
Just Anthony Todt.
No further questions.